Bench is flying, squats are feeling excellent, and the deadlift feels terrible. It just feels like I have no core. It's this strange feeling. I have trouble contracting or bracing my anterior core, and I feel like I don't know, it's a weird feeling. I feel like my legs and my shoulder girdle, my arms are not connected. Like my whole core is really weird, and I don't know if that's the new bench press technique, the leg drive, but like all that arching has made the front part of my core almost deactivated. Really, really strange. I'm doing deadlifts like once a week or something like that. Purely technique, purely to feel the weight, purely just to make sure the movement is not foreign. It doesn't become foreign to me. It's a very different type of feeling, straining in a deadlift than anything else. Because you are contracting the entire body, like you're starting in a hip hinge type of position. You have to use your quads initially, but you have to keep that bar really close to you. You have to keep your lats in your back pockets. It's a very unique contraction. And all these squats that I've been doing with the SSB for sets of 30, that really engages the quads a lot. Obviously, that's kind of what I'm chasing here. And the quads are getting pumped, and probably they have a lot of residual fatigue every day. So that probably explains a large part of all of this, but it's almost that if you, I don't know, there's like a tipping point. You engage in the quads, you're really switched on, you're really in your quads. But if you rely too much on the quads in the deadlift, like I'm really, really turned on in my quads, I go to deadlift, which has always kind of been a really good idea for me, but now I feel like the quads are too much in my mind, and that sends the bar away from me. So then I have this feeling the bar drifting forward. So there needs to be a recorrection in terms of the deadlift to not be so quad dominant. I know historically speaking, for me, the huge gains in deadlift have always been quad related. And I've changed my technique, rotated my feet out more, stepped further away from the bar, all to kind of get me a bit more dorsiflexion to begin with, even while sacrificing, that lever from the bar to the midfoot. But anything that I can get from the quads initially is like a big part of the success for me. But now, maybe it's just fatigue, I'm not sure, but now I feel like when I do this, the bar runs away from me. It could be that, but it also could be that I'm not doing rowing, and rowing really bloody trains that really well, keeping the bar to your belly button, to that hip. So really, it's all very hard to kind of put all together. I'm really focused on the bench right now, and I'm really happy with that. But if you said to me, Ivan, come in a month's time and do your best to get 290 on the deadlift, the first thing I would do is go back to wide stand squats, go back to leg press, and go back to rows. Those three things have really done well for me in the past, but those three things have also done terribly for my squat. So right now I'm kind of like really addressing this high reps, SSB, stay in the quads, stay all of that. I really want to kind of progress the squat, even though the deadlift is a joy and I've really found something with it. The effort that it takes and the exercise selection that it takes for me to feel good again with the deadlift is the stuff that's going to take away from the other stuff that I'm doing. And sure, you could probably make some sort of a compromise and balance all this out, but that's not what got me to success in the first part. Breaking plateaus, breaking through walls is best done to concentrate on one thing. I feel like 285 is a very good deadlift for me. And so I think doing what I'm doing right now is going to be better for me to bring up that squat to 220 to 230, make that my focus, even though it is not my forte. I'm not built for that. I feel like if I do a lot of work in that, it's going to maybe hopefully bring about squat success. But every time I get that squat success from the things that I'm doing for the squat, it always translates to the deadlift as well. So it's kind of like I'm doing one thing for two things, whereas when you're doing just the deadlift stuff, it's just for the deadlift. It didn't really translate all that well to the squat. So you got to pick your poison, man. You have to pick your poison. You know, for a long time, I was just focusing on the squat and neglecting the things that I was naturally good at, like squats, like deadlifts, and things that I'm actually built for, bench press. And so I really want to get those things moving. And then when I maybe get bored of that, I suppose, or when I feel like it's time for change, then I go back to the stuff that has worked for me last December. But you know, increasing everything at once is very difficult, for me at least. I've done many months of training on many different ideas and nothing to show for it. Maybe some different qualities I've gotten out of it, but not directly what I was after, like in the 1 rep max. So let's chase some bench press. Try and get that 30 reps on the 100 kilos. Try and improve that SSB squat with 60 kilos to like 40, 50. Try and really get some gains there. And when I finally start to move that, then I'll have confidence that, you know, I've won this particular battle of the war and I can move on and try something else. But the way this is all making me feel is fantastic, but it's always sobering when you go back to the other thing that you're not working on, like the deadlift for me, and I'm like, damn, it feels so bad. I remember how 240 used to feel, pop off the ground like it was nothing, and now it's just a strain. It's a foreign feeling. My core's not there, my lats are not there. It just feels like a heavy, laborsome thing. It doesn't feel like a snappy, poppy, rip it, powerful thing. But this is part of the drawback when you're training. You have focuses on something. You focus on something and then the other thing kind of slips away. And you just have to have that confidence in you. You have to have that poise to just stay with it. You can't feel good in everything. Like I remember when I was in that deadlift period, and sure, like, you know, that month was nuts, man. I was setting PRs like crazy, but like part of me was also like, why is the squat feeling terrible? Like this is really hurting me. My soul is really, really hurting right now. Why is the squat feeling so terrible? You know, 285 when the deadlift felt amazing. I put the bar on my back and it's like, what is going on? I feel like I'm on a boat. Why am I so unstable? Why am I leaning over so much? Why is this? Why is that? And then straight away, boom, the thoughts start to happen. Oh man, maybe I should do something else for the squat. And then maybe you have a session there for the squat and then that kind of takes away from the deadlift and he's just always kind of chasing your feet, chasing your tail, running around, trying to work out what to do. For me, like I look back and I'm like, okay, last November was when I did the squat PR. Last December was the last time I did a deadlift PR and a whole stack of them came there. When was the last time we did a bench press? More than a year ago. I think last January was the last bench press. So that's due. But last January, I did a narrow grip, the strong grip. So why don't I go back to that? Well, that really led to some really, you know, different cascades of movements because when I do narrow, there's a limited amount of volume I can do on the bench press and then I have to do all this forearm work. And so then it just sends you completely down a different rabbit hole. Okay, cool. You discovered wide. Wide is really good. Everything feels amazing. When you go wide, you can do a lot of volume, but you're not very strong. Okay, so why don't I bring that up and make it my strong one? Because that's clearly what my body really wants to do. And so that transition between those two things takes a while, man. I tried with the squat to go wide. Ultimately, my groin started getting really pissed off. When I went back to narrow, interestingly, I didn't really like that handover. I didn't want that transition to go from narrow to wide. I didn't want the wide to be my primary. I wanted the wide to be an accessory to my really good narrow. But the wide was doing something to my hips, to my adductors, really pissed it off. And then it pissed me off because narrow is really why I started bloody training in the first place. That's my happy place. And so I can't have me losing depth on a narrow and losing mobility because of a wide. Wide is amazing, no doubt. And I will go back to it as soon as I get over this period and I start looking at the deadlift again. That was amazing for the deadlift, training the hips, training the quads in a different pattern, all of that stuff, the core, it was amazing. I really want to get back to that. As I'm sitting here talking about it, I'm like, man, I really want to do wide. Maybe I'll introduce it in the next few weeks. I don't know. Maybe it's going to help me. But right now, these sets of 30, one day I feel good. The next day I feel terrible. Today was terrible. My quads are burning. I stopped at 20 and I'm like, damn, this is killing me right now. Really, really lit me up today. I don't know whether it's because of the deadlift, because of the consecutive days of hitting 100 kilos on the bench press with leg drive. But today the quads were really, really burning. And, I had night shift last night and I'm walking around the ward and I'm like, man, my quads are still pumped. This is like hours upon hours, like 6-7 hours after the squat session. I'm like, damn, I'm really feeling the quads. And so now the quads are like really, really on the map. Really on the map. So that is kind of what I'm after here the whole time. This is what this whole massive block of training is about. I still have ambition to hit 60 kilos. This is the thing. I have all these ideas in my head that I want to achieve, but you can't do it all, right? I said I wanted to do 60 kilos for 100 reps. That is so far away from me right now, man. So far away. And these adaptations are going to take a while to do. I'd love to do that. I would love to be a volume specialist. That tells me so many different things. You're going to feel healthy. You're going to feel balanced, stacked. The right muscles will get engaged. You'll get quads. You'll get core. Like, so many things happen. But on the road to do that, you're not going to feel very strong in a deadlift. It's just the way it has to be. And so you can't, like my dad used to say way back in the day, like a Serbian saying, you can't sit on two chairs properly. You have to pick a path. And so right now I have to be on this path and achieve where this path leads. And that's what I need to remind myself to stay on the path and continue. Appreciate you guys like always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.